Welcome back. Oh man, it's Satisfactory. I am so glad you're here. Yesterday, we died a couple times, and we don't take the easy way out here. So we're gonna have to get our stuff back, and then we're gonna make a blueprint. I've added a belt. Well, actually, hold on. I have thought about 4 different things here. Let's check our wire recipes. Do we have an alternate? No, we don't. Urgh. A an iron version of this would be kind of exciting, but we won't worry about that. Um, let's get the MAM down. We did complete a scan. This eliminates plastic, and it does use silica, which we don't really use enough of. I might actually go with this. Kind of like that idea. So quiet. I put a belt in front of this so we could try to juice the entry speed as much as we can. Now, we died twice. One of these deaths is more important to recover from than the other. That belt, it might get us all the way there in one shot. Assuming we don't die again, of course. And assuming we don't pass it. That's also a problem. I should probably try to stay on the high side of this. Oof. Hey! Hold on. Looks like we had a little crashy crash. You know what? You good? My computers are not loading each other right now. Even though they really should. Alright, so I want to put down a icon here so we can find our stuff a little easier. Of course, I'm having a heck of a time doing that. Here we go. Large infinite highlight. But you have to accept that change. Large infinite highlight. There we go. Actually, while we're up here, is there any good stuff? Something really is not liking me today. Hold on, we'll be right back. Oh, are you back or are you not back? Okay. We found it. It's right there. No problems. The extra little belt on our hyper cannon served us well. And we actually had space. Ooh. We did that correctly. I'll put this in the digital uploader, which I guess is better than the case by the house. Well, maybe not. I have to think about that. I don't see my hover pack. What happened there? I mean, if I really wanted to, I could just build another... They're acting like I don't have a 10 gigabit network to have these computers talk to each other. I could just hypercannon my way back and kind of remove the possibility of further mistakes. But I do see a Mercer sphere over there.
Live, laugh, consume.
For whatever reason, I value summer sloops over Mercer spheres, but Mercer spheres are actually really good, especially where we are in the game. I see a purple over there. We've got to try to get that. I see a few purples. Oh, see, here's the trap. Some of these probably have super secret hatchers under. Like that one. And that one. All right, we're gonna have to do a little restart here. The game is obviously not happy with us. I made my way from over there to over here. And now I see one more purple over there that I'm kind of tempted by. Yeah, it might not be worth it. I'm still in a where you died too much vibe. I probably should get out of here while I've got some good stuff. 3 purples is a lot of purples, especially when it's like 10 per. Let's see if we can snag this yellow and then get out of here. This area is very rich in power slugs. But, like I keep saying, it's also full of traps. Try to take it to the high ground. And then we're gonna get out of here. I still feel myself. Still feel. Something about steel mill and steel feel. It feels really weird. It feels like a tongue twister where I know it isn't one. Steel feel. Trying to sneak up on me. Gosh darn it, they keep giving me purples. I mean, there's a ton of traps there. I'm just not in the right place to deal with a bunch of traps in the most patient way. So I'm gonna move on. If I could just get up here. Oh, that was a... See? Traps. It's all about traps. Now I gotta deal with this guy before I can build. See, he's not gonna leave me alone. Oh. Gotta remember that knockback is amazing now. Okay, let's cannon our way out of here.
I don't know. Have a good day.
Away we go. That's gonna get us. That's actually gonna get us there. Should carpet bomb this pink forest. Oh, you know what? I think I put my hover pack in that second death. Yeah, that's probably what happened. Let's just suffer with that sitting there. We're gonna play it smart. I feel myself not being in the perfect place to do all of that stuff with the most patience. All right, so we're going to make a general purpose, highly lit, super neon, mostly transparent, 5-meter blueprint here. All the way to the top. The very first thing I'm going to do is I want to make sure that our decorations will fit in the blueprint. So this blueprint should now have crystal oscillators on it, number 1. Okay, so it's in there. So now we're just gonna light this pole up. Ever so slight, whatever the slightest amount of overlap is that we can get away with. Since this is going to be something that we use all the time, we want to make sure that it's reasonably efficient. Now I got to think, what colors do I want on this? Do I want every color in the rainbow? Probably not. But I don't want it to be fix-it orange either. Why are you freezing again? I really wish you'd stop being weird. I don't know, my cyan is still my favorite color. The problem is if I stop recording, it'll be a separate video. You know how I feel about editing. But the reason why I stopped to colorize that is because if we paste these in, which is a recent addition, well appreciated. Copy things, also copy in their settings, so we can get a nice, super expensive pylon built this way. I mean, we know we want to go to the top here, so we'll put that in. And then whatever makes the overlap work. Hold on one second. Okay, I tried making some tweaks. We'll see if that works. I think that's kind of the outer wall. So let's put on what we want. Why is it the second I try to get back into it, it does the pause? It's like, how much of this do you want to be glass? And how much of it do you want to be... You know, your basic wall. I kind of like what's going on here. Of course, if we stack it, it's going to be window, window, which isn't great. You know, it might be easier just to delete this. Okay, so whatever we want at the top needs to be the same. And that right there is also an option. Just have it be this windowy type thing, and then put the window inside of that. Actually, kind of like that. And then I wonder if I can get some architecture in here. Yeah, I don't like this fact that this corner is going to be like this. A little nudge makes that way better. course, that's going to make this bottom one... it's going to double up this one. There's really not a good solution to that. I mean, there is, but... then I get rid of the window. Or I build this to the top. Nah, it could just be double windows. It's fine. Will I get a vertical? Yeah, it's not going to let me vertically nudge. Up and down takes it left and right. It's such a weird thing. But left and right takes it forward and backwards. There's no way to move it up and down on that axis. I mean, I guess there technically is a way. I'd build this, then I'd build this next to this, then I would delete this, then I would build something right next to this using that as the snap point, and then I can get it exactly where I want it. Question is that exactly where I want it? You know what? Let's come back to the outer side of that facade. I think we need to give... Ooh, you know what? I just thought of something. I don't have the glass floor. And I might not have the coupons to buy the glass floor. We got 3. Costs 10. Oh boy. We might get a chance to empty out our inventory after all. The weird part is it's local network issues. I'll resolve this. Chances are I just need to restart everything. But I'll resolve this shortly, don't worry. At least before the next video. Let's see, we need 10. We have 3. Ah, we have 10. We have 13, actually. I was actually looking forward to dumping some stuff.
Go for that extra purchase. Go awesome.
I guess I could still look around and see if anything out there. Ooh, personal elevator. You know, probably want that as part of this overall design. Yeah, let's dump some good stuff. I mean, we also don't need these leaves. And we can get rid of these. We probably should keep the... You know what, though? We could probably turn that alien DNA into some good stuff. Let's do that. Yeah. we've got some good alien DNA. Stinger remains. Spitter remains. Hatcher remains. Is that it? Should I just look for remains? Hog remains. We'll crank all this out into alien DNA. 2xing it all the way, right? Oh, the easiest way to do this would be through protein. Hatcher protein, spitter protein. Do I have that on my list? Yes. So we take 12 and turn it into 24. We take 24 and turn it into 48. If that's the ratio, it might not be that forgiving. And then we got Stinger. In a previous life, I would have just built a little processing plant for all of this, so I could just drop them in a single container. But with these summer sloops, summer sloops are too valuable to just have sitting around. 72 protein. Do we have any research that we want to do with that 72 protein? A Caterium computer. So it uses rubber and quick wire instead of plastic and cable. It's a little faster to make. I already have an alternate though. I think I should rescan. I mean, if I'm going to do the alternate, I should do the 2-unit alternate that just uses 2 components as opposed to 3. Get it down to an assembler level. So we'll rescan for that. Blah. All of this is terrible. Tempting. I mean, more rotors is good. If we ever needed rotors on the spot, it would be nicer to have more. So what I was really here for is to see if there was any megafauna research that we wanted to do. Oh. Kind of disappointing when the answer is actually yes. Okay, so high speed. We'll do it for no other reason as to check off that box. Complete that research chain.
Hostile organisms added to the object scanner. Note, it cannot detect the species, only aggression. There are many creatures that dislike you, Pioneer, but I am your true friend.
Thanks. Time crystals. We're not anywhere near ready for those, though I would love to be making synthetic shards. We also don't have petroleum set up yet, so we're still power poles Mark III. I really don't use advanced power poles, but again,
Power Pole Mark III unlocked. It has significantly more power connections compared to the previous models.
we're kind of in a research mode now.
Priority power switch unlocked. This assists with power grid management by automatically powering down specified connections when a grid failure is imminent. Use it to prioritize power for the most important infrastructure.
Alright, I think that's pretty good. So now we can process this down, knowing that, hey, we've done the research that we can do with this. Alien DNA, yes, ×2 again, so that's a good chunk. Good chunk of DNA. I'm gonna keep my high-speed connectors. We have a factory for the frames, so we could toss those. Yeah, we'll keep a stack. That's what we'll do. We'll find stuff where we want to keep a stack. Got to 7. I'm super curious what one of these is worth. 2,000 DNA points. So it's worth 1,000 DNA points. Pretty sure we've frozen, so I'm gonna freeze as well, so we don't miss anything. Alright, I like this DNA situation. That's really getting our coupon count up. We need 6 more to get to the personal elevator. We got 40.
Due to Pioneer request and several reported issues with staircases, there is now a more efficient solution. The Fix-It personnel elevator ensures optimal safety by putting a Pioneer in a box controlled by a rudimentary AI, specialized in soothing a straining mind. Exposure to a Fix-It personnel elevator is recommended to be a minimum of 2 minutes per day for optimal gain.
Elevator stop. Attach the personal elevator to add additional floor stop and power connection. Transport Fix-It personnel between floors while meeting acceptable standards for efficiency and safety. Consumes power when in use and transports power between all attached elevator floors. Additional floor stops can be added. Okay, well, I might have to kind of get a sense of how this elevator works. Like what the leveling scheme is. We would need motors, and we did just toss a bunch of motors. We'll bang out a couple motors while we're sitting here. I don't think I want... I'm thinking about what I was just about to say. I don't think I want elevators in the blueprint, but I do think I want the blueprint to be compatible with personal elevators. I think that's where I am on this. We need to put a floor down. Gotta have a floor. I think I should probably give myself full space here. I like leaving this gap because it gives us a little bit more space to do design stuff. But let's look at these personnel elevators. Is it personal or personnel? And let's see here. Oh, you decide how high you want it to be. And it looks like the first one has a entry and exit point. Oh, and it tells you how many meters up it's going. Okay. Well, if it's that flexible, then I'm not going to worry about it as much. Famous last words. I'll line it up after the fact. So I think a catwalk is what we need. Do I have the catwalks? Uh-oh, I might not. No, wait, here we go. I kind of think, well, what's the biggest thing? Production is a manufacturer, right? Ugh, we still need 2 more motors to build that thing. Let's just assume for a moment that it's going to be kind of like this. So we have room if we put the catwalk a little further into the world, or into the blueprint, I should say. Can I put a catwalk on top of the foundation? Is that where they go? Oh, I see. So it's either center or edge. I kind of like center. Or I like this edge. Well, yeah, I like that edge, which will make sense in a second here. Okay, I like where that's headed. I'm trying to decide what happens if I want to boost this. I'm kind of liking this from a thumbnail standpoint. Right, so at least we can walk. We've got a basic walking area. This basic walking area will connect to all other walking areas. But will it connect to the elevator? That's the question. $8 meters, huh? I know I'm trying to take a lot of things into account at the same time here. Ugh. Now I need more motors. We really need to start making motors. Huh. Directly connecting to these catwalks is actually a bit of a weirdness. Wait, delete the whole personal elevator, please. It's like it needs to be on a half, so I gotta nudge it. How far do I nudge it? This is like a crazy amount of nudging required. So we've got to nudge it to get it in front, and then we got to nudge it back. Well, here's hoping that when this thing has power, we can call the elevator. Oh, I see. Call the elevator. All right. So I'm good. I don't have a specific place I have to put this in order to be compatible with the elevator. Good enough to know. Let's get that out of the way, and then let's get this back in play. And then what I want to do is put... See, now this is where we might consider some steel floor. Actually, we need the glass frame foundations. And we'll go this way. But we won't make it the first one. We'll make it the second one. We'll nudge this in. It'll be a slight shrinkage. I think a half foundation's the way to go here. Perfect. It's gonna be super reflective. Uh-oh. What did I do here? I think I might have not done anything fancy on this side that we need to do in order to keep the glass foundation sections whole. Yeah, I like that better. It's a minor thing, but I think it is better. Perfect. Now the question is, do I want to put something? I mean, we probably should put some lighting in, right? Some contrasting lighting. If I have the lighting, I probably haven't even unlocked lighting. How did I unlock the light control panel, but not the actual lights? That's a weird choice. I must have been in a situation where I was just like, I got some extra coupons, let's spend them. Let's save while we're thinking about it. We're gonna call this the Mega Empty 5x5. I don't think I'm ready quite yet to commit to this being the end all be all. Like, we probably need some architecture pieces. Oh yeah, the reason why I was gonna do all of that work is because we wanted to put these lifts in. We'll put in... See, the problem is, if we were really going to go for it, I'd probably want to connect them directly. Especially if we were talking about, like, manufacturers, right? You probably want to have them directly connected. Though, the twisty connections would probably look cool as well. You'd have to find the right place to line this first one up for it to be straight. And then this one we just have to go zoink. This one goes zoink. This one would go zoink. And then the thing that would come out over here. And then if we want multiple levels, we'd have to build that into this. little questions like, do we consider this catwalk fully connected unless it's physically connected? Probably not. We probably need to put some sort of vertical support on this. But for now, I'm going to put this in here. And I could probably start this as starting from the bottom, going up. I'm suddenly liking this a lot. And then this one will be output. And, you know, as part of the design, if you want to change that, then, you know, just change it. We could go so far as to say if we need more inputs or outputs than 6, which is kind of a, like, 5, which is kind of a lot. Not unlimited amount, though. We could need more than that. We could put, you know, wire and cable in this single design. But the key to this is the fact that, did you know you could put these splitters right in the middle of these now? So that kind of changes my whole design motif. Now that we know we can put these splitters right in the middle of this, makes it so much easier to do vertical building. I think I'm going to do another part to this just to make sure we've got all the design elements that we want. For one thing, I know we want lighting, and we don't have that. Indoor lighting is 3. Flood lighting is 5 more, so that's 8 total. Well, there actually might be a good chunk of them over there. And I can build a sink. You gotta connect it to get to the coupons. Oh. 2. Error. Well, 3 is enough for the indoor lighting. So we'll just buy that.
All Fix-It Awesome Shop purchases are purely intended for professional Fix-It employee business.
Okay. My temptation is to put this on an angle. Give ourselves a little spice. But let's deal with that in the next episode. I think we have another episode of really putting some flair on this. An episode where we're not out there trying to collect our stuff. And an episode where our video making capabilities aren't disconnecting from each other for some odd reason. So weird. I'll take a look at that and then we'll finish this up. But I'm loving the way this is going to look. You got to think of this as like the outer wall. This will be the inner wall. There'll be lots of walking space around a whole bunch of these. And then in the center, we'll have storage. And then underneath all that, we'll just sort of pull in all the various goods and things that we need to make it work. It'll all make sense in the next episode. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.